booties for black girl nerds.
Hi, David. How are you doing?
Hello, doing well. Is it Jeandra?
Yes,
Jeandra, okay.
it is good to meet you. Congratulations on a wonderful season of
Thank
beautiful
you.
performances. You were singing your butt off just all season long, just performance after performance after performance. It was so beautiful to
Thank you.
listen to and to absorb it in anonymity. But what I really wanted to talk to you is I know that you mentioned on the show wanting to walk away and just having surgery and just all of these things that singers and performers undergo that we're not privy to as regular people. So I wanted you to talk to me about being brave to even test your instrument again after something so traumatic like surgery and what that process was like for you and working your way back.
Yeah. So last year I was supposed to go on a spring tour, and I think it was a mix of my voice not being in the best condition as well as just the stress of life. I was going through life transitions, and I wasn't really sure what I was supposed to do with myself. And I think it manifested itself in my voice, where it was kind of like I'm going forward to sing and perform for people, but I wasn't ready to do that. Um, I just wasn't in the right state of mind to put myself out there. And so I almost feel like my voice kind of said, like, I'm done. Like, I don't want to be used. I don't want to put something out there that before, like, prematurely, because I had just come out um, as being part of the LGBT community. I was transitioning with my faith, and I think I just needed a moment to figure myself out. But I was still trying to push myself to perform and put myself in front of people before I knew who I was. And I also already had a previous voice issue, because I had a partially paralyzed vocal cord, which I still have actually, but it gives me really only one fully functioning vocal cord to work with. And so that, on top of the stress, it just um I kind of reached my breaking point. I hemorrhaged a vocal cord. I also developed vocal nodules, which are like blisters on your vocal cords. And if you work through them, it'll cause permanent scarring. So I went into surgery. I didn't speak for 3 months. The surgery itself also caused scarring because of the vocal paralysis. The space in my voice, like my voice box, is a lot smaller. So the doctor said it was like working on a small child's throat, because it was such a small space to work with. And because of that, they had to like kind of strain my voice a little, which caused some scarring. And so I had to do voice therapy. And I feel like I got through it for the most part. But even while I was on The Masked Singer, I was still kind of struggling with some of the scarring issues. I went to the doctor to kind of be like, hey, like, I'm still feeling something funny in my throat. And that's when they actually found that there's scarring from the surgery while I was on The Masked Singer. So I feel a lot better now. I've I've managed to continue with my voice therapy, and the voice coach on The Masked Singer was amazing. Her name's Amy Chapman, and she was just incredible. And she helped me push myself while still making sure I didn't overdo it, to keep my voice still healthy, because I was still recovering. And then my voice therapist that I'd worked with since American Idol times, his name's Dean Kalen. Um, they both helped me to keep my voice in shape.
Mhm. The reason why I wanted to talk to you about this, I mean, obviously you have such a gifted instrument, and it takes a lot of bravery to undergo that type of trauma and retest the vessel. But I hate when I see commentary online when people are like, well, where's the new album? Why aren't they recording something new? Where is it? Why is it
Oh.
taking so long? And people truly have to understand the process of what performer. It's not like, you talking to your friends and your coworkers or whatever. And it's a whole different type of recovery, of practice, and just commitment to doing that all day long. So bravo to you, kudos to you. I'm so glad you are back and you are recovering. And
Thank you.
just hearing all that and thinking about the magnitude of your performances, I mean, it is incredible. The opportunity presents itself. You get to reemerge kinda, because we don't know that it's you per se. So how did that kind of heal what you were experiencing, taking that time away or wanting to walk away? How did that anonymity help heal you?
It was great because it felt like a new start. Like I wasn't being judged for the persona people thought I was. And especially because, like I said, these life transitions, I was like, I don't know who I am anymore. And I don't even know what's the purpose for me to sing, because before I was like singing for my beliefs and my faith. And that's what was like my driving force. And as I had those transitions, I was like, I honestly don't know what I'm doing anymore. Like I need to find what purpose I'm doing this. And being anonymous as the macaw, like people still recognize my voice, but they still weren't sure. I mean, a lot of people were like, that's David Archuleta without a doubt. But a lot of other people were like, well, we don't know who it is. Um, so to be able to start fresh was really nice because I didn't have to be put into a box of what people thought I was or what they always knew me to be as previously. And it was invigorating. It felt like I can be whoever I want to be as the macaw, and I can show my colors and I can spread my wings in a way that I wasn't able to do as the David Archuleta people always knew before.
So fill us in now. I know you have new music that's coming out. It's called Up, and
Yeah.
takes on many reason things for many people. Upward motivation. There's different reasons people use the word up. So why that title, and what does the song mean to you, and what do you want to convey in it to your fans, new fans who have joined you now during this Mass Singer journey, and people in your travels?
Yeah, I the song is about hitting rock bottom and feeling like you don't really feel any hope in your life. You don't really know the purpose of it anymore. And it's really just saying once you've hit rock bottom, the only thing you can do from that point is basically get back, pick yourself up from the ground. And that gesture in itself is, the only way to go is up from that point. Um, and it's also for me personally, the song is just about transitioning. It's like bringing people, letting them know this is where I came from. I thought that there was no purpose for me anymore. Like there was no reason for me to keep going. And I didn't think there was anywhere to go. And now I'm coming to realize I'm moving into a better place. I'm getting back my power that I had given away for so many years to others. And it feels so refreshing and it feels invigorating. And I feel like it's almost like I'm feeling like I'm getting a second chance at life.
Hmm. Oh, that is beautiful. So now with this new perspective and this second chance, what do you want to accomplish? So talented, beautiful vessel, and there's so much more that adds to who David is. So what else do you want to accomplish besides continuing to share your beautiful instrument?
I want to continue sharing my story because I part of that transitions coming out, being a part of the LGBT Q plus community it was something that I thought if I ever, it's like I felt that a part of me always, since I was a little kid, and as I grew up, I just started believing like if I ever admit this is a part of me, it's over, because my I thought God was going to abandon me. I was going to be rejected. I thought I would be accepting like eternal damnation if I did that. And so you get to a point where it's like, you don't decide who you're going to find attractive. You don't, if someone walks by you and you're like, wow, that person's really beautiful, or you kind of feel blushed, like you have a crush on them. It's not like you decide that. It's not like, who of these people should I have a crush? That person looks okay. I'm now going to produce the feelings of feeling attracted to that person just because I decided to. It doesn't really work like that. I tried to date women. I tried to get engaged to them because that's what my church leaders told me when I opened up to them. I said, because they would say, they're like, you don't call it gay. If you call it gay, then that's a sin. But if you just call it same-sex attraction, then you're still okay, because it shows that you acknowledge that it's there, but you're not giving into it. And so I tried that because that's what I was instructed to do. And they said, well, as long you can still get married and be happy in a heterosexual marriage. And so I tried that. I was like, okay, if this is what God wants me to do, then I'll do it, because I wanted to do what God wanted me to. And that's what I was told he'd want me to. And when I did it and got engaged, I was just like, I feel like I'm being so dishonest right now. These girls believe that I'm in love with them, and that's why I've asked them to marry me, when I know I'm just trying to cover up. I'm trying to cover up more the secret that I thought I could get rid of, but really I'm just like putting a band-aid on, I feel. And I'm like, how is this being honest? If God is truth and light, like if there is a God and he's truth and light, how is this isn't being truthful? And so it doesn't feel very light. It doesn't feel like there's light in it at all. And the girls would know it. They'd be like, you feel so cold, you feel so distant. They'd be like, I'm used to feeling loved and adored, and you feel so cold. And I'm like, I don't think I'm doing a very good job hiding this. So I'm like, this isn't fair to them. They deserve to be loved and desired. And it got to a point though where I was like, I'm trying to hold in these feelings of just being attracted to a guy, and I'm not succeeding. I feel like I'm a failure. So I get to a point where I'm like, okay, if I can't push this down, what's going to happen to me? Am I going to receive eternal damnation? Because I'll probably one day give in to these feelings. And what I've learned is a lot of people in religious cultures who are queer get to this point, and they're start deciding like, well, is it better for me to live and give into my gay feelings, or LGBT feelings in any way, and receive eternal damnation, or should I cut my life early and then I may still have a chance at eternal salvation? And I got to that point, and you get to a point where you start thinking, I'm hopeless. No matter what good I've contributed to this life, it will never make up for the fact that I may be gay, or I may be queer, or may be LGBT. So you start debating ending your life and thinking that is the godliest thing you can do in your position. And I got to a point where I realized, it's like I heard this voice of God, or just like this greater than me voice speaking to me so peacefully and lovingly and saying, David, you need to stop asking me to change you, because you're exactly how you were intended to be. And now you need to take time to understand that. And I was like, I don't want to mess up. And they're like, And this voice spoke to me and said, well, then you need to you're allowed to make mistakes. And as you make what you think are mistakes, you'll realize they weren't mistakes because you're who you're meant to be. And that's when I said, you know what, then maybe I'll give myself a chance to be queer, see what it's like to just allow that part of me to come forward and be a part of my life. Because right now I'm debating ending this so that it doesn't come forward, but maybe I should give it a chance. And the fact that when I came out and shared my story, and I've had people come up to me, strangers, say, how did you do it? Because they were religious and they're like, I'm about to go meet with my bishop now. I've been contemplating suicide for the last month, because they think it's the right thing to do to end your life if you're gay. And just to say, you deserve a chance at life and you deserve a chance at loving someone. You know, it's so weird to me that people think that by coming out as being LGBT that they think you're confessing that you're a pedophile. I've had so many people think that I was choosing evil, and I'm like, I'm loving someone who is an adult, nearly about the same age as me, and we just want to create a life, to build a life together, want to work together, build goals and dreams, and one day a family. And there's this misconception so much in religion. They've like fear mongered so much, I've realized, to say that if you are attracted to the same sex, for some reason that equals to you want to molest minors. And, you know, you find people who sexually abuse people who are straight. Like the people who've been abused most in my own family were straight males abusing female girls. So it's like, why are we not calling out the person who's actually molesting the children, and yet you're calling me the child molester just because I'm attracted to the same sex? This doesn't make any sense. Like, we should hold this other adult accountable. And yet they're like, oh, well, that person, he just made a mistake. And it's like, that's not fair. This person was, oh my gosh, it just.
I hear you. You know, let me say this. First of all, it takes a great degree of bravery to even admit that, especially when you're a public figure, especially that even in this time where people seem to be so inclusive, and we know that's not always true, to even speak your truth and live in your truth and just tell your story will help so many people who are struggling with the ideas of that. So kudos to you. And to have that all these feelings coinciding when you're undergoing physical challenges with your instrument, questioning if this is even your life path with something you've devoted so much of your life to. So kudos to you. And also circling back to what you're saying about love and being in previous relationships and it didn't work, you too are deserving of love in all its forms. We all are, no matter what. We are on this planet and we are meant to love each other. So you are no exception with that too. You know, as you kind of broaden your perspective beyond faith, you know, I can't think of one thing from the Bible. It says you have to prune to yield good fruit. So maybe this is your pruning season of pruning away all those things that are not serving and are not contributing to your life's happiness and what your plan is for life. So, you know, instead of, you know, I don't want to go too far off into the weeds and, you know, get too crazy, but I applaud you. It takes a lot of bravery, especially on a show like this that's so popular, it's so widely watched, and being comfortable enough to share your journey with people. You will inspire and give a lot of people hope. So I am very happy for you and I'm very proud of you, and congratulations on your new music. They are wrapping me up. I could talk to you all day, David.
Oh
But
my gosh. Well, thank you. I so appreciate what you're saying. It means a lot. So thank you. What you're saying is just very like affirming and encouraging, and I appreciate it a lot.
yeah, please stay encouraged. Please continue making music. They're going to wrap me up. You're inspiring all sorts of people, young people, seniors who might still be living closeted, who don't feel comfortable coming out because it's generational. So please keep doing that. Congratulations to you. I thought you should have won. Congratulations to you. Beautiful performances. And I look forward to people hearing your single up. Thank you so much for talking to me.
Thank you, Jeandra.
Take
Good
care.
to talk to you as well.
Bye-bye.
Hi, how's it
Hi.
going?
Good. How are you?
Oh my gosh, I'm so good. Wow, I love what you're wearing.
Thank you. I love what you're wearing. I loved your performances this season.
Oh, thank
I
you.
I mean, the thing that I really enjoy, many things I enjoyed, but just the diversity of songs, just a whole vibe. Like I felt like every time you performed, I legit was watching a full concert.
Oh,
Every single time, from the energy to just how you commanded the costume to the background people, like you killed it. Well deserved. Congratulations. How does it feel to be the season 9 winner?
thank you so much. Wow. It feels so surreal. I am sweating just because I can't believe I can talk about it all like now. I mean, it was such a big secret in my life. So it's been nice that I've been able to text a few people back and reveal what's happened. But it's the most surreal, coolest thing. And to be part of a show that does focus on the emotion of the song and focuses not on the exterior. Although there are these elaborate costumes, it really is about the soul and spirit. So it was such an honor.
I'm glad you said that about being able to text people back. I always wonder, I mean, you can kind of keep your grown friends in the dark unless your bestie a little too nosy like mine. But how does it work when you have children? I know you mentioned during one of the packages, you said you just wanted to make your son proud. How old is your son and how does that even work? Because I used to run my mouth a lot when I was a little kid and tell all the business of the household. So how does that
Well,
work?
yeah, I am really it's fortunate because he doesn't know how to talk yet.
Oh, good. He's little. Okay.
He's little. He's 9 months.
Oh,
So I think that does help with the secret keeping, but I did play him the finale yesterday and he genuinely had no reaction. Um, like I was ready for this emotional moment, like that's me. But also to his defense, understanding that I am the person behind the snakes is a bit of a concept to take in at that age.
it is a lot. It is a
Yeah,
lot.
it's a lot.
It's
Yeah.
kind of like, is it cool? Should I be afraid of
Right,
it?
right. No,
But it sounds like
exactly.
mommy, it's kind of cool.
Yes. He did seem very drawn to the macaw, which I was, I told him that's my competition. So, but again, he appeared to just really feel drawn.
Mhm. When you have a different level of music IQ, like you, like David, like other contestants who've been on the show, how good are you at identifying your competition? Because they keep you all sequestered and you don't know. How many have you ever watched it or anybody this season? Did you hear them go? I know who that is.
I definitely had guesses throughout. I now in watching the season, I was completely wrong. Uh, but I did, when you're talking about being nosy, anyone that worked on set, I just sort of, asked a few questions and that whole set is tight-lipped. They will not share anything. I will say my upbringing was really based in Motown music. And so I feel like if it was particular artists from that era, I could probably point it out. But as you know, with the show, it's such a variety of individuals, and some of them, their focus isn't even music. It's just something they do for fun, or maybe they have an amazing singing voice, but it's something we haven't seen before. So it really is, a difficult one.
And so now, on the other side, being able to do this in anonymity, does that feed a different part of your artistry, being able to perform without this and people going,
Mm.
oh, Bishop, yay.
Well, I still feel as though I'm an up and coming artist. So there is an element of anonymity that I feel like I still sort of walk around with. That being said, though, even if I have sold out a show and everyone is chanting my name and, you could argue they're clearly there for me, I'm still that person on the inside, that struggling artist, that still um, feels like I need to prove myself, and that's something I definitely need to work on in therapy. As I'm saying out loud, I'm like, okay, wow. But so I feel like I sort of went back to who I am on stage, which is, really leaning into the emotion and wanting so desperately to be my most authentic self and to connect with the people in front of me.
Mhm. So good segue for connecting with people. You have some new projects out, and one of them is called Baggage. And I think that's something that we all can relate to. We all have things that we have to put down and let go. Talk to me more about Baggage and what you hope the message of it will convey to people who experience it.
Yeah, with the music video in particular, I had this idea of these teal splotches representing grief and trauma showing up on our skin. And part of the reason why I came up with it was, in my darkest time in my life, so many people didn't know what was going on. And I think on a deeper level in our society, we're still uncovering the I'm fine of it all. We're still um, working towards, being way more upfront and being vulnerable. And I am excited with this new generation because I feel like there's, everyone's wearing pimple patches and, trying to post unfiltered photos. And, I do feel like we're going in the right direction. But with Baggage, it was this idea of, okay, if I'm going to join this new generation and be completely honest, I have to think of how I'd be on a first date. Like, if I was on a first date, would I share everything that's happened? Because it ultimately has made me who I am,
Mhm.
for better or for worse. So that's really where the essence of Baggage came from.
Artists help us heal. When we as lay people are experiencing things, we turn to music to help us kind of navigate our feelings. So it's an important role that artistry serves for humanity. But on the flip of that, who helps the artist? Like, you're revealing that these were the deeper times. So who helps you when you are pouring so much of yourself and hoping to help the public at large with your artistry?
Mm. Yeah, I hope that with my music, it does make people feel less alone. That is always my goal. I
Mhm.
think during my darkest period, that was when I really found who my true people were. Who were the people that knew who I was at my core and knew something was off, no matter how I was presenting. And so I feel like there's a close circle that I have around me, that was there during that time and has been since then. Um, and so I'm really grateful for that.
I was glancing through. I see you're also going to go. You have EP. I love it. You got a whole new chapter, and Mass Singer got the springboarded for you. So you have EP coming out when everything went dark, and like you just mentioned, we're going through darker times. You're going on tour with Mr. Wives. What do you think? What do you call this chapter of your life with new experience, new win, new music, new tour? What is this chapter for you?
Uh, I mean, this is revealing one of the song titles on the EP, but I feel it's worth it, and this is a safe place. But I would say Reborn.
Mm.
Yeah, Reborn would be what this chapter is called. Yeah. Flaws and all.
Flaws are what makes us beautiful because, if it was all the same, there's no character, no texture, like we need all
Right,
these things.
right, right.
So with that, now with this new chapter and having a 9-month-old baby, a lot of women and people who parent will be inspired by you. And sorry about my dog. He's excited about the tour as well.
Oh,
Um, Billie Jean. He's Billie Jean, named after
oh, I
Michael.
love that.
You know, we
You
love
too.
music in this house. A lot of people will draw inspiration from you, you know, embarking on this. Are you going to navigate that? Do you have to take baby with you? How does that work for you?
Well, during the show, during the filming of the show, I was 5 months postpartum, 6 months postpartum, and I was pumping in between. I think the balancing thing is a myth. But what I will say is I just know that whenever I'm in each moment, I try to be as present as possible.
Mhm.
I'm very obsessed with the baby, very obsessed, in love, like you don't even know. I'm going to be bringing him on tour, which was always my goal. So that's, makes a huge difference. But also, I do want to include, I have a supportive partner that has been, on those filming days was helping me and is helping raise our son. So I think that's something that I feel really grateful for as well.
Mhm. I'm glad you said that about balance. I interviewed Gabrielle Union recently, and she said the same thing. You know,
Really?
yeah, she said the exact same thing. It's impossible. Like, you
Yeah.
do the best you can. There is
Yes.
no such thing as, okay, at
Yeah.
5 o'clock, I'm going to be family now, and there's going
Right.
to be no work. You just navigate the best you can. So, words of encouragement for anyone who feels like the pressure of maintaining this mythical balance that just does not exist.
Yes. I think the the thing you said just there about doing the best you can. And another thing that I have done too is uh, I have looked at my own upbringing and I've looked at my parents and I've seen what are the things that I love that they did and what are the things that I'd want to do differently. And that was something that my husband and I discussed before we had a baby, of like, what are the things we loved? What are the things we would maybe do differently? Um, and uh, and so I think being on the same page about that makes a huge difference. And one of the biggest things for me was when I am with my son, I'm completely present. I'm not on my phone. I'm not talking to you. I'm present. And then when I'm at work, it's the same thing. I hope that I can be completely present in work. And then when I do have a moment where he can come to set or there's something, it's like have the worlds combine in a light way, but not in that forcing a balance to happen when it's not making either party happy. I think yeah, but the myth, it's a huge myth, the balance, for sure. Yeah. And it's this carrot we're all chasing, and it's not. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to happen. We're going to do the best we can. We are in turn to your music to inspire us. Thank you again for your time. Congratulations. Well
Thank
deserved.
you.
I loved all the song choices. It was so hot.
Oh my gosh, I'm
I
so
like the Take You to
happy.
Church. I like the Welcome to the
Oh,
Black Parade. You were killing it, and you had a marvelous season. Well deserved win. Thank you so much for your time.
thank you so much.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Better shake your booties for black girl nerves. Better shake your booties for black girl nerves.